Hello and welcome to my video about Chainsaw Man Part 2 and the issues I am having with it. We will be spoiling the end of Part 1, so if you have not read the ending to Part 1, I highly recommend you do so. Now, I won't be talking as much about the story in Part 2 because it's not done yet, so I don't think it's appropriate to talk about the story beats, but I can talk about how it's feeling and what I think it's not really doing as well as Part 1. So that's what the video is going to be, so thank you for clicking on this. Like, subscribe, yada yada yada, whatever the kids say, let's get into it. In my personal opinion, I feel like Chainsaw Man is a trap. It's a trick, alright? We were deceived.
Duped!
Bamboozled!
We've been speckled over.
So what do I mean by it's a trick? I say that Chainsaw Man is more of a slice of life story masquerading as a shonen story, alright? Yes, there are really cool fight scenes as you can see here, but it's more about the characters and the relationships they form with each other and we, the audience, form with them. My first experience with the Chainsaw Man character actually came from My Hero Academia. I saw a lot of people posting online about this panel that you can see here, and as you can see, there's our boy Denji right there. So I went and checked out more of the art, and my first initial reaction was,
that looks cool.
so one thing you need to know about me is I love over-the-top ridiculous concepts. One Punch Man is one of my favorite things ever, and I thought, you know, it's probably going to be something similar to that. Lots of over-the-top violence, and just a silly main character whose power doesn't really make sense, but it doesn't have to. What I was not expecting is all the little moments, like this clip right here. This clip specifically is not in the manga, but it does show why the anime does a really good job at adapting this manga into a anime. So what I like about this is you really see the little details in someone's life in Chainsaw Man. It's one of my favorite things about it. I really feel invested in these characters' lives. So much of their mundane routines are just so interesting to see because they live in such a dark world, but they have to just keep on living. So many of my favorite scenes just include them going to the bar, them having breakfast, getting meals together. I love it so much. It really shows how these characters are forming bonds with each other. You see little tiny moments that the characters feel more human. Even the characters that are not human, like Power, feel really human by the end of the series. And that's what I really like about this. It just feels so real. Like, it feels just perfect. I don't know how to explain it other than the fact that I love it. It's so well done how much I like the little moments in these characters' lives. I couldn't ask for it any other way. And I could watch Aki doing chores all day long. You could put this on a loop with some lo-fi beats and I could watch this all day long. Like, I love the action, don't get me wrong, but without these little moments in between, the action doesn't hit as hard. That's my problem with a lot of shonen manga and anime. It just doesn't hit as well because I don't really care about the characters as much as I do in Chainsaw Man. Before I actually talk about Makima, I just want to let this play out real quick. That was the point that broke me. I had to stop reading for about 20 minutes, and I just stared off into the void because I couldn't comprehend what had just happened until I read the next part. And we got Makima to explain it herself because I can't explain it any better than the way she puts it. In exchange for you living a normal life, Pochetta gave you a heart. What you made with Pochetta wasn't a promise, it was a contract. I asked myself, how could I break that contract? How could I make you so hurt that you'd no longer be capable of living a normal life? So damaged that you'd never be able to bounce back for as long as you live? Quite the challenge, isn't it? After all, you felt plenty of happiness even living in extreme poverty with Pochetta. So I decided to begin with making you a lot happier. I gave you a job and money and fed you lots of delicious food. I provided a family that you'd get along with. Aki became a good big brother to you and powered the bratty little sister. I'd make that level of happiness your new normal, and then destroy the whole thing. Any happiness or normality you experience from this point on, I'll be the one to create it all and destroy it all. If you overcome your grief and make friends, I'll kill them immediately. If you get married and start a family, I won't allow your wife and children to live long. But why would you? Because the time has come for you to atone for your sins. So yeah, it turns out Makima was orchestrating all of the events the whole time. Every character relationship Denji was building in the story that we were building alongside him was all orchestrated to bring him down and create his demise. And I think it's great. It is so good how we, the audience, also get sucked up into her plan the same way the character does. And you just don't see that in a lot of media. So yeah, the day is saved. Denji defeats Makima, and I mean, she gets like reincarnated or something. I'm not really quite sure how it works. She's like a little girl now who's like Denji's little sister or something. I don't know. It'll make more sense later, I'm sure. But here's the thing. Here's the whole thing that I was building to in this video about part 2. I physically cannot care about a single character in part 2. And the issue with that is part 2 is leaning way more into the side of things of this whole character development thing. We're not really getting that much Chainsaw Man. It's really about the characters, the new characters. And I just can't care about any of them. And it's so disappointing. I'm still loving the read. It's still a good read. But it's what? We're like 70 chapters after all this happened. And I'm still not feeling anything because I felt too much in part 1. I feel like they blew their load too quickly. How can you top the end of part 1? I really don't think you can. And what I really think it comes down to is I just can't trust Fujimoto. I literally do not trust the author, so I can't care about anything. It's so disappointing because I want to like characters when I'm reading something, when I'm watching something. I want to be involved with the characters, but I have no faith. I can't put my feelings into these people knowing that something bad is probably going to happen. How could anybody do that? It's just insane. Like, there was too much in part 1, and now part 2 is just, it doesn't hit the same, and I don't think it can hit the same. But that's okay, I guess? I don't know. It's so frustrating. It's so hard because I want to like this. I still do like it. I cannot say that enough. I still do like it, but I cannot relate to these characters. Like, there's a whole part where someone's best friend, not a best friend, but her only friend, she ends up turning into a devil, and yada yada. It was supposed to be a big dramatic thing, and it wasn't. I didn't feel anything. She's on the cover of volume 12, and I still don't care about this character. I'm having trouble like even remembering characters' names, who these people are. They all seem like kind of like just copies of people from the first one, and they're all kind of blending together, and it's a huge issue. So yeah, that's really all I have to say at this point because the whole thing's not done yet. We're not done with part 2 yet, so maybe my opinion will be changed. Maybe it'll be wrong. Maybe I will start to feel things. Maybe I will start to like these characters, and I probably will get my heart ripped out and yada yada yada. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I don't know how to end this, so thanks for watching if you made it this far. I do have more videos coming in the future. I have a South Park video planned. I have a Aqua Teen Hunger Force video planned, I think. Stuff about Alan Moore, so Watchmen, V for Vendetta, all that jazz. I really saw how hard it is to do to make a video essay, and I did learn some things even just doing this video, some things I made mistakes doing and not having a proper script and all that jazz. So I'm working on things, so if you have any other suggestions how to improve what I'm doing here, I would love to hear it. Or if you have any other topics you'd like me to talk about, I'm down to learn new things, see new things, try new things, and review them. I'd like to do this more because it has been a fun experience. So thank you guys for watching, and I truly appreciate anyone who's listening to me right now. So thank you so much.